He was one of Africa's most renowned young authors. Binyavanga Wainaina won multiple awards for his writing, including the Caine Prize for African Writing for 2002's Discovering Home. But most will probably remember him from a scathing satirical essay he wrote called How to Write About Africa, challenging popular stereotypes about reporting on the continent. When you write about Africa, he said, always use the word Africa or darkness or safari in your title. Never have a picture of a well-adjusted African, unless that African has won the Nobel Prize. Remember, any work you submit in which people look filthy and miserable will be referred to as the real Africa. Do not feel queasy about this. You are trying to help them get aid from the West.
A significant amount of coverage, probably the vast majority of coverage on Africa by the West, reinforces the pre-existing idea. The story has to start. Kenya is experiencing economic growth. After the devastation of the rest of the continent, the exception starts. So the existing narrative must be a dependent and collapsed place. And then, oh, maybe there's a good news story, if you're lucky.
A forceful advocate in changing how Africa is seen and understood, Wainaina became one of the first prominent figures in Kenya to announce he was gay, after a series of anti-gay laws were passed in neighboring Uganda and Nigeria.
I see my coming out as an intervention in a moment in time. An intervention that was like, if I have to live accountably here, I don't want my brothers and sisters to be dying and being beaten in Nigeria. And then I'm kind of quiet, I'm making loud noises and saying they, it's they. Oh yeah, those people who are gay, I'm feeling for them. I just felt that intervention was necessary.
Wainaina suffered a stroke in 2015. The next year, he announced he was HIV positive. He'll be remembered for humanizing the other and being one of the best writers of his generation.
He didn't try to create his own different stream that people can follow in order to report or write about Africa. He created our own narrative and demanded a place for it at the mainstream by rebuking the existing narratives. It was a very courageous thing of him to do, and he's inspired many of us in many different fields to sort of bring up the African perspective and take hold of our narrative in media and conservation, in education, legal practice, media practice and reporting, etc.
Binyavanga Wainaina died in Nairobi after a short illness. He was 48 years old.